us what the second
Never mind. It's
we already did our homework.
12.3. Analyze geometric sequences.
Good job.
We can do this. It's like yesterday, but multiplying.
And division.
Exactly.
And a different formula. No, actually.
And a whole different concept.
I have one. It's not very
In a
strong.
geometric sequence.
That's right.
The ratio. He's already back. Oh, different one. Hold on. Where did I put them? I just moved everything and now I don't know where anything is. There it is. There you go. It has the wrong section numbers on the top, but I promise it's what we've done.
Alright.
I'm gonna have to have you go in the computer lab because I'm teaching what's on your quiz right now.
Okay.
Just don't sit right beside Ryan.
Alright.
Not that he's taking the same thing, but
Alright.
I feel like they might distract each other.
And we need cookies.
Wait, no, we haven't gotten any cookies.
No, if Ryan does well on this test and our class average stays an A, she said she can get us
Or
cookies.
cups.
Wait,
I mean,
Where's
The
Ryan?
class average is like a mid-A, so it should be fine,
Yeah,
but
what if he absolutely flunks it?
but
No, I
Ryan
have
is pretty
some faith in
smart.
him.
Like,
How much are the last quizzes?
Okay, here's the thing. If Shepard can do it, then Ryan can do it.
That's not a very good comparison.
that's.
Just because I didn't lock in.
Oh, are we doing like SAT math prep this class?
Huh?
This class.
like right now,
No, like this
You
year.
mean what was on the board?
We have 2
I
weeks.
don't know when we're gonna have time for that because we're taking a quiz on Friday
Maybe like
and a
next
test
year
on
we
Tuesday,
can
and then we have 3 days to review for the exam.
Okay, I think we're good then.
We don't take the SAT until next spring. Right?
Next fall.
Next fall? That was in the spring.
No, juniors take SAT in the spring.
Wait, juniors
Yeah.
in spring? Oh no, I'm taking the PSAT.
I'll make these notes for you.
You already
Yeah.
took the PSAT.
Wait, these are the
Yeah.
last notes. I'm gonna make.
You
these
can
notes
retake
super
it,
fancy.
though.
What color?
We're already gonna retake
Purple.
it. Like it's not that
No,
I want purple. Yes.
Okay.
this is the national
Alright,
merit
I'm gonna
scholarship.
Free practice, might as well.
No, I need
Miss
to.
Paula
I
wants
need to
to
redo
redo
this.
it.
Daniel, what color do you want to use?
All right, in a geometric sequence, the ratio of any term to the previous term is constant. This constant ratio is called the common ratio. Denoted by a little r. So with arithmetic, we had common difference. In this one, we have common ratio.
So is this one pronounced geometric?
No, geometric.
Oh, these notes are so fancy.
All right, the rule for a geometric sequence. The nth term of a geometric sequence with first term a sub 1 and common ratio r given or given by
Was that A1 or
a1. A sub n equals a sub 1 times r to the n minus 1. And just like when we had it the other day, I said if we didn't know the first term, but say we know the fourth term, then we could do the same thing, but a sub n is equal to a sub k times r to the n minus k. And so whatever term it is, we just have to subtract that value off from the exponent.
So it's the same as last the same as last section, but everything is just multiplied and then raised instead of added.
Pretty much, yeah.
Same order.
And again, the one that's in green is just if we're not given the first term, but we're given like another term, instead of having to figure out what the first term was and then writing it, we can use this to write it for any term that we have.
Does anybody have another color pen I can use?
Yeah. What color?
Blue. I mean,
No, I don't have.
Isn't blue what you're currently using?
Read
I
black.
thought it was blue, but it's black.
Oh.
I don't care what
You want
color,
red?
it just has to be fancy.
You want red?
Oh yeah, I'll take green. That's tough.
I have two colors.
I don't know. I don't really have color.
I have a blue one.
This one better keep it in safe black.
It's black. Zach, do you want a blue pen?
Yes.
I can't get it.
Okay, so these are just just like so.
All right, so just like yesterday, we started with our first questions were, is the sequence arithmetic or not? Now we're doing, is the sequence geometric or not, and explain why. So, 4, 16, 64, 256, 1024, ...
That's a big number.
So how do I get from here to here?
Multiply by 4.
How do I get from here to here?
Multiply by 4.
And so on and so forth. So is this geometric?
Yes.
Yep.
So when multiplying, do they all have to be multiplied by the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if it could be like Is there such thing as geometric and what we did yesterday?
Arithmetic?
There is kind of something like that where it's like,
Like it times 4, then times 6, then times 8.
kinda, yeah. But we aren't doing anything with that. It has a different name, like altogether. It would be something totally different.
It's good. We're not doing that right now.
Exactly. It's like college math right there.
Thank you.
I guess this is yellow.
College algebra, you said?
No, college math.
Yeah, but this is like not hard.
No,
No,
I
she
voted
said
pen and I
four.
messed up.
I'll just make it look like a fancy squiggly line on both sides.
Mason gave me a very
6. 1/3, 2/3, 4/3, 8/3, 16/3. What about this one?
Multiplied by 2.
Multiplied by 2.
Nope. Yeah. Yes.
Yep, it is geometric, and r is equal to 2. And so just stating what the common ratio is sufficient for explaining why.
Because
we're very
10, -3, -6, 12, 24, -48.
No, wait.
no.
So remember, for something to be geometric, it has to be multiplied by the same thing every time.
Can I have
Yeah.
blue?
So this is, everything is multiplied by 2, but the signs are not right. Okay, so this is not geometric.
I don't think I have blue.
Zach's blue pen.
Not multiplied
I have a blue highlighter.
by consistent R. That's what I'm gonna put.
Here, show me the blue. Mason's blue.
All right, write a rule for the nth term and find a sub 7. So 16, 6, 18, 54, 162. So I need to find a formula for a sub n So the first thing is I would write a sub 1, which in this case is 6. It's being multiplied by, what's the common ratio here? 3. And we would raise that to the n minus 1 because I did in fact have the first term on this one. So now, to find a sub 7, I can either use the formula or I can just keep multiplying by 3. I'm just going to use the formula because why not? So this would be 6 times 3 to the 7 minus 1. So we would have 3 to the 6th times 6 is 4,374. So that would be a sub 7.
Yeah, you like my notes.
Looks like Addison's notes from last time.
Addison.
No, she would like write the title in
I do
pencil.
not affiliate with.
Well, I got you, but she would like do this in pencil and then write in big letters like
On top of
And
it.
then she would like highlight underneath every single one.
like
20.
this. So it said math twice.
3, negative 6 fifths, 12 25ths, negative 24 25th, or not 1, sorry, 1 25th, dot, dot, dot.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
So what's my common ratio? Let's figure that out first.
It's
A negative. But
negative 2/5.
Yep, negative 2 fifths. Because I multiply that and I get here, multiply it again, I get the positive value, and it alternates sign. So then a sub n is equal to the first number, 3, times negative 2 fifths raised to the n minus 1. So then a sub 7 is 3 times negative 2 fifths raised to the 7 minus 1. Okay, apparently my calculator does not want to give it to me as a fraction, so I may have to do it a different way. It's fine. It's 0.0122, no, 3. Now, as a fraction, my calculator just doesn't like to make fractions this large. It would be equal to 192 over 15,625. If we multiplied this ourselves, so if I did like negative 24 over 25 and I multiplied it, it probably would keep doing that. Or we could just keep multiplying like negative 24 times negative 2, get that, times negative 2, get that. And we could find it ourselves by just doing like the top and the bottom. But if you do it on your calculator and it gives you a decimal, that's okay. I tried to turn it into a fraction and it kept it a decimal. I was like, that's not what I asked for.
I kind of like the decimal on this one. It's 0, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's kind of
What's the
satisfying.
date today? I'm gonna put the date on my notes.
5, 7.
I need to step up and look
yes, you
May 7.
do. Like she has good hair on it.
For the last set of notes, everybody's stepping up their notes game. I like it.
Like I've been hoping but not good numbers. You have good numbers.
All right, we're still writing the nth term of the sequence, and we're finding the first 6 terms. So 30, a sub 2 equals 6, and r equals 2. So I could go back and I could absolutely find a sub 1, right? Could divide by 2, and I could find a sub 1, and I could do it that way. But just that I'm given a sub 2, I'm going to use that in the formula instead. So a sub n is equal to 6 times the common ratio of 2. But now it's raised to the n minus whatever the subscript on this a is. So in this case, it's 2. So this is 6 times 2 to the n minus 2. Now I can use this formula to find the first 6 terms. In this particular case, it's probably easier to just multiply. So what is the first term?
6.
3.
No, 3. We're given the second term.
6.
Divide by 2. We're working in the opposite direction, so we have to divide by this number.
Oh.
But now we're back at a sub 2, so now I'm going to a sub 3.
3, 6, 9.
Multiply by 2.
Wow.
Well,
12.
What?
6, 7.
He multiplied it from the right to the
Thought I heard 56. That's why I was really confused. I was like, what?
192.
So this is the first 6 terms.
Oh.
So now, if you had wanted to do this as 3 times 2 to the n minus 1, that also would have been acceptable. That's just another way that I could have written that, but once I had the first term, but you can do it with whatever term you're given. 32.
You like Steve Lacy?
A sub 5 equals 1, R equals 1 over 8. So given that I only have the 5th term, how would I write my formula for A sub n?
A sub n equals 1 times 1/8 n minus
N minus 5.
5.
Yep.
Because it's the subscript of the given.
So basically this is just telling me that I'm dividing everything by 8, right? But if I want the previous terms to the 5th term, what can I do instead if I don't want to use the formula? Multiply by 8. Okay, I have to do the opposite thing to get there. So I know the 5th term already.
8.
So really easily we can find the 6th term. What's the 6th term?
8.
8.
1 over 8. Now working backwards, what's the 4th term?
8.
What's the 3rd term?
6. 4.
16.
Multiplying by 8. 64.
Oh, yeah.
32,
5.
5,
Yep.
something 02. Times
4,096.
49 cents.
Genius, or you typed that in your
I just
calculator?
turned it in.
49
Forgot the numbers.
So that would be the first 6 terms.
I know how we did that.
Hmm?
You?
I said I know how we did that.
Yeah, but
Okay,
you
good.
go left to right.
You're doing great.
Yeah, I know. You
Oh, because the 5th term is not 1? Oh, it is 1.
the 5th term.
And then we're going uppies by 1/8. So if you go downies by 1/8. That makes sense. So we never actually used the formula when we're finding it.
We could have. I just think it's faster sometimes.
Okay.
If it's something that we can see now, if everything was fractions, I would probably use the formula and just plug them in.
Okay. I
But
was confused because we wrote the formula and then all of a sudden we had the numbers and I don't know how they correlate.
it just told us that we had to write the formula
Okay.
and we had to find the first 6. Now, where this would really come in is, let's say I wanted you to tell me what the 60th term was.
No. Come on, use the funny stuff.
Then we would do 1 times 1 over 8 to the 60 minus 5. Hopefully I didn't choose a number that it doesn't like, because that could be a really large number.
Is there gonna be an E in it? I feel like there's gonna be an E in it.
When you say E, what kind of E do you
Big
mean?
old capital E.
Okay, so like a scientific notation.
Yes, I don't know what
Wait,
the E
that's-
means. but
I was so
whatever.
confused. I was doing a problem and like on my phone's calculator and it gave me an E.
I got an
I
E.
was like, where does like, cause it was before we did stuff with Euler's number. I was like, where does E come into play with this kind of problem? I was so confused.
So why?
Well,
Just
capital
divided,
E means
yeah.
something different.
And
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, but I was so confused. So I
I
was
bet this
lost.
won't turn into a fraction. Let's try. Probably not. Nope. Anyways, now obviously that's obnoxious, but that's the main reason we have the formula. So, which is the same thing we did with arithmetic yesterday. Like you could have done them all by just adding or subtracting yourself, but it was easier. So, how do we feel about this?
I feel amazing. I actually know how to do this.
Good. Do we need to do any more? Are we okay?
No, I don't have enough room on this paper. I want to have it all on one page.
Whoa, it's running away.
You said put them away?
No, I said it's running away.
Oh, I was thinking
The whole thing just went whoosh.
picture like a pop quiz or something.
I mean, I feel like y'all do okay if I gave you
Pop
one.
exam.
All right.
Wow, this is 4.
I'm gonna do my homework fancy too.
That is not heavy.
3,
Why?
Dude, that's
7,
Are you gonna with the oral?
Yeah.
11, 17, 21,
Wait, does anybody have graph paper?
29,
I don't have any anymore. I left
Should
it
we?
at home.
31, and 33.
I thought that was my phone.
Yeah, it was your phone.
How would you know if your phone was off and not in your pocket?
Well, I,
Yeah, your phone, bro.
it was still on my desk
Threw
when
in
I
his
opened
bag.
it.